Hey everyone, how's it going? In the world of air blowout tools, which one do you choose? I'm gonna tell you why in the past I used to tell people not to waste their money on a Tornador, and I'm gonna tell you now why I've changed my mind right after this. Okay, in the past I used to hate the Tornador brand. That's the original brand. They're a little bit more expensive, but I didn't hate them because they were more expensive. I hated them because they broke all the time. So I'm gonna tell you where I used to have problems. So see this pin right here, this, I don't know, you would call it a cotter, not a cotter pin, but this pin that holds the trigger in. This trigger, if I recall correctly, on the older models used to be flat rivets of sorts, and they would break and snap off, and I don't even use these that often, so they would cause me a lot of problems. They would break off, and then I would have to come up with some, way to get the trigger back through, either get my own sort of pins or I think I used a cotter pin at one point in time or something, and so I hated them. So the one thing that, is still, I guess you could call it a negative about the Tornador brand name that I don't love, but I have a feeling that it contributes to its effectiveness, is it's longer. So one of the knockoff ones, Vortex I think is one of the most popular. I also have Vortex. It's significantly shorter. And you can tell it's definitely a knockoff of sorts. The design is pretty similar. The Vortex, the fitting kicks out back. It even comes with like the same looking fitting. The Tornador brand sticks straight down, and you can see the significant difference, probably 3 inches or so shorter. So I like that the Tornador knockoff, the Vortex, is shorter. But overall, the power on the actual brand name Tornador, especially since they've fixed this problem that I hated before, leads me to only use the Tornador now pretty much. And this gets stuck in a drawer. So this is nice that it does have that shorter nozzle, but I do like this nozzle, or I do like the power and performance of the Tornador, and I do think that they redesigned it, even though I'm not 100% sure on that. Another type of Tornador that we have, and if you look at the reviews, the knockoffs get really bad reviews, whereas the knockoff standard Tornador gun, they kind of are similar, it's just like a price difference. But the Tornador Black, or this is the Tornador Max, and the Tornador Max has this swivel end. It's got this bucket, and I typically fill this with American Detailer Garage F-Bomb 20-1. And it has the same Tornador style nozzle and everything. The difference on this one is, of course, it shoots out this liquid, and it's a very fine mist, but it's great for cleaning vents, and you can switch it, from air to mist, or air to water, I guess you could say. And so, this is definitely a great tool, and they make an attachment for this also called the Velocity Vac, and the Velocity Vac takes this, and you kind of replace this, and it has a vacuum hose attachment, and you put the vacuum hose on, and so then when you're blowing stuff out from here, instead of it blowing all around, or you having one hand a vacuum, one hand a Tornador, it sucks that air back in, or it vacuums up all the crap that's being blown around by this into your vacuum. So that's a nice attachment as well.